The Fulton County District Attorney, that's in Atlanta, Georgia, Fonnie Willis, says they are close to making a decision about if they will file formal charges against Donald J. Trump for election tampering in the state of Georgia. If you remember, the prosecutor weighing whether Donald Trump and others committed crimes by trying to pressure Georgia officials to overturn Joe Biden's presidential election victory said a decision on whether to bring charges could come as early as the first half of this year. Let's put up a picture of DA Fonnie Willis. She was recently elected, and the case is squarely under her jurisdiction because the phone call was taken in Fulton County. Let me remind you of a snippet of that conversation. Here it is.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Yeah, that was actually an hour-long conversation where the president of the United States attempted to coerce, to influence the outcome of the election. Raffensperger continued to push back. We now know that Donald J. Trump actually called other employees of Secretary of State Raffensperger, who works in Georgia as the election chief. So not only did the president contact Raffensperger, he contacted members of his staff directly, trying to overturn this election. Now, here's how Georgia law works as it relates to election tampering. There's one law for a regular citizen, meaning a non-civil servant. And then there's another law for individuals who actually work for the government. I'm hoping the grand jury that looks at the evidence, I hope they look closely at the statute in Georgia, which deals with the conduct of government officials. Because in the statutory language in the state of Georgia, if you even attempt to impact the outcome of an election, that is a felony if you are a government official. Is Donald Trump a government official? Yes, clearly. Was he a government official at the time? Yes, he's not one today, but he was then. Okay, Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis said in an interview with the Associated Press last week that her team is making solid progress. And she's leaning toward asking for a special grand jury with subpoena power to aid the investigation. I believe in 2022, a decision will be made in that case. I certainly think that in the first half of the year, that decision will be made. Quote from DA Willis. Willis declined to speak about the specifics, but she confirmed that the investigation's scope includes, but is not limited to, the January 2nd, 2021 call between Trump and Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, a November 2020 phone call between Senator Lindsey Graham and Raffensperger, where he tried to influence Raffensperger as well, the abrupt resignation of the US Attorney in Atlanta on January 4th, 2021, and comments made during December 2020 Georgia Legislative Committee hearings on the election. Now, according to legal analysts, this particular case is actually more of a slam dunk than any other case currently against Donald Trump, because the statutory language in Georgia is so clear as to what constitutes criminality in this case. But we all know rich white male with political power, they operate differently, right? So we'll see if the DA is able to seek and obtain an indictment. Attorney, what do you see here? I mean, this is tough for a DA to go against the former president, especially a cat like this who will try to politicize every moment to make you the villain. But the truth is, he did this to himself.
Absolutely, and although Donald Trump is very slippery, he really seems to have an incredible amount of disdain for actual accountability. I think that again, this is probably the easiest, best case against him in terms of prosecuting him, because what he did was so blatant and egregious and essentially out in the open. And we have so many documented accounts of it that it'd be very difficult to see him essentially walk away without facing any accountability. But then again, if we have a jury and you cannot find enough people to convict him, he could end up walking away again as it is. The fact is that we've seen this man continue to live with impunity and to do whatever he damn well pleases. So even as strong as his case is, I would not be surprised if he again evades accountability.
And see, that's the thing right there, because let's say he gets charged, right? There's a formal indictment. A grand jury looks at the evidence, they make the right call. He broke the law, he committed a felony. He gets indicted. Still, at the end of the case, before it concludes, 12 people have to agree. 12 people. And if the jury has nullification to the actual law, if they say, I know he did it, but I don't care. Guess what? He goes home.